my UEFA Euro specials are going next level. Really pleased to welcome Sandesh Jhingan onto the gig. Sandesh, I hope your family and you are safe and healthy, and you've got your both your vaccines, if not both, at least one.
Hello, good evening, first of all, everyone, and thanks for having me. And hope your family is good as well. And everything's good back in Chandigarh, and I've got my first dose. It's really excited for it because I'm the last one in my family to take it. So I was getting a lot of banter that, oh, you're afraid you're still not taking it. But after all the travel, finally I got it done. So really happy.
Lovely. You know, I'm demarcating certain teams and going team by team and group by group. So, for example, with Gurpreet, we talked about Italy and France. You know, with Baichung, we talked about some other teams. I thought we'd start with Group D and England with you. Sandesh, England have won 4 of their last 5 games 1-0 while keeping clean sheets in all those 5 games. They've won the Euro group. Tough group. Croatia, Czech Republic, Scotland. Your thoughts on Team England, whatever you've seen so far?
I think I was pretty impressed how England played, to be honest. I heard a lot of criticism, or I would say, see, the thing about being an English footballer, because I've known a lot of footballers who have played for England, is that even if you win a game 5-0, 6-0, they'll always say that the opener was weak. And if you don't win, then they'll criticize you. So whatever you do in England, there's always other side to it. So a lot of people were saying they're not converting their chances. Harry Kane is not able to, put the ball in the net. But at the end of the day, if you ask any English fan from bottom of his heart, if you ask him that end of the group stage, if you want to top the group, regardless if you played the best form of football or no, will you take it? And everyone would take it happily. So I think that was the most important thing, and they achieved it. Kept 3 clean sheets. I think that's very massive, because this tournament is not a 40 or 30 game league. It's just a tournament. So you just need to get past every hurdle, no matter how you're going to do it. So when you have a solid base that you don't concede goals, then you have the confidence going forward that 1 goal is enough. I think that's massive. You see France in '98, they kept clean sheets, scored 1 or 2 up, boom, and they won the World Cup. Just giving a reference. So I think they've done really well. Top the group, clean sheets. Phillips is doing fantastic. Rice is doing well, and it's just a matter of time. The moment Harry Kane starts putting them into the net, the balls, I think England will be unstoppable. Overall, I think it's been really good.
Sandesh, it's quite a heroic tale. Raheem Sterling losing his place in the Man City first team, and he comes back. But he's been in sparkling form for England, 14 goals in 19 England appearances. Your thoughts on him, because he's coming out of these tough times. And as a footballer, you know how it is when your team also sometimes lets go of you.
I think the City part, it's club football is totally different from national team. You can see a lot of plays. If I give an example of Milan Baros, for club level, he always struggled, but national team was a different beast. So there's so many players, they have different ways how they play for the nation, for the club. It always comes into account. For Raheem, I think in the club level, so many superstars in that team. If you take Raheem out, there is, Foden is ready to step in his boots. So the margin, the difference is very less. So it's tough for Pep Guardiola also to maintain that Raheem should play all the games when the league is 38 games plus Champions League plus Cup games. So still he played majority of the season. I think he did well. And the national team, how important it is for Gareth Southgate. And it's proven itself, like you said, 14 goals, something in other odd games. In the Euro Cup as well, he's doing so well. It just gives you a different dynamic. And I think under Pep Guardiola, I think everyone would agree he's improved so much. So I don't think there's any love-hate relationship there in Manchester, and for our nation is proving. And I think for sure the upcoming games is going to be very vital for England.
Yeah, that's very beautifully answered. Bukayo Saka, he actually joked saying that Wembley Stadium is round the corner from his house and it'll be nice to come back. But he put up a super display against Czech Republic. Also, Jack Grealish had a very good game. So those 2 blokes, Saka and Jack, just your comments.
Saka was surprised when he was picked for the squad, to be honest. I can be wrong here, but yeah, he's a decent player, proper, worker, honest player. When you see him, he's going to give whatever he has and his quality as well. And I think a decent season with Arsenal as well. So he's done well. And Jack Grealish, I just read right now that City is prepared to make 100 million bid for him. So for sure, if Pep Guardiola sees him like 100 million player, for sure he has immense quality. And I like it. He brings a different dimension to the game. You've got those sitting midfielders, Kevin and Declan Rice. If you have someone, like a number 10, someone a floating midfielder, his quality, it's really good. Reminds me a lot of Joe Cole, to be honest, how he plays. But if he keeps going like this, if he moves on from Aston Villa at the club level, I think, and if he goes into a coach like Pep Guardiola or someone who can help him improve, I think he has a massive future ahead of him.
Sandesh, experienced manager Gareth Southgate, over 50 caps for England. I want your thoughts on the manager. Also, if you can, just your opinion on what's going on in his mind. Harry Kane has been struggling for the first two games. You also mentioned him. You think there's cause for concern for Gareth Southgate? What would he be thinking right now?
I think if he thinks too much, he will create his own problems, I believe. Right now, you just need to look at the positive side. You're top of the group. And like I said before, it's not a league, just few more games. You just got to take one game at a time. And Harry Kane, even if you take him out, what do you think who's going to place him? Of course, Calvin is fantastic and the other strikers who can. But Harry Kane, his persona, I'm seeing as a defender. For example, if I'm playing against England, and if Harry, even if he's not good form, if he's still in the starting 11, then I'm going to be like, okay, Harry is there, this might be the game he scored 3 goals. So I got to stay top of my game. So that mental thing always stays in defenders because he's one of the best strikers in the world right now. And so apart from the goals, what he else brings to the team is fantastic. Any long ball which is cleared by John Stones or Mings or whoever at the back, he literally puts it down. That gives a breather to the team. And a coach will always look all the circles, which makes a player a player. And it's just not about scoring. His leadership on the pitch, the way he holds up the ball, the link-up plays, he does really well. And of course, goal strikers will always judge for goals, but apart from the scoring part, I think everything else is doing pretty well. And it's just like how the Spanish coach said, Spain is like a champagne bottle ready to, pop up. And I think Harry Kane is just like that. Just one game is going to bang in 3 goals, and then everyone will going to say like, this should spend 150 million to sign him from Tottenham. It's a matter of one game.
That's a wonderful quote from Luis Enrique. I was going to ask you about Luis Enrique a little
Sure.
later. Croatia have also gone through from Group D, Sandesh. Luka Modric was playing a little safe in the first two games, but then he showed what a magician he is against Scotland.
Unbelievable.
Also Ivan Perisic showing that he's a key player. Nikola Vlasic, star player of that Scotland game. Croatia are looking aggressive, fast and confident. Your thoughts on the last 16 with them?
I think before the tournament started, everyone had high hopes from them. I think after the game against England, and then the next game, I think everyone kind of tried to put them back, like, okay, they're not going to do anything big. But then the last game, and first of all, I need to say about that goal from Luka Modric, it's those goals you pay to go to the stadium to watch. It's incredible. And now everybody started recognizing them again as probable contenders. They have a good team, good squad, defensively, they have experience at the back. And of course, they have Modric, their star player, Perisic. So they have a decent squad. They have what it takes to go to the finals. They showed in 2018. So they have the experience of that. Some of the players from 2018 batch, of course, have moved on, but the core is still there. So mentally, they will be ready for it. And I think they will probably kind of enjoy this, that not many people are having expectations out of them. So this kind of, makes you more relaxed going towards the game, so you don't have the pressure of the expectation. So this might help them. But if you ask me personally, I might be wrong, but I don't think they might go that far how they did in 2018 when they went to the finals of the World Cup. So here, I think if they could reach the semis, I think it would be massive, but I doubt that. But good luck to them.
Good luck to them. Let's move on to Group F. Germany were almost out of the tournament, Sandesh. Hungary was leading them till 6 minutes from time, and then Leon Goretzka's goal saved them. I think counter-attacks remain a problem for the team, and when an opponent is lying deep, they're just not able to break them. But there are also some good sides. I mean, you must appreciate Joshua Kimmich, the wing-back, who's often pushed into midfield by Joachim Löw. But where was the Germany we saw against Portugal?
I think Germany has become, I think after the 2014 heroics, what they did was incredible. After that, a lot of players moved on, I think. And if you see that squad of 2014, they had a lot of creativity in the middle. I think Ozil was one kind of a player when the defense sits back. Players like Ozil, they are the ones who can create magic, what we call in football, which everyone just goes like, oh my God, even this was possible. So that what breaks the defense. And they don't have I don't believe, I might be wrong, but they don't have a player like that in the squad right now. Of course, they have immense quality. Kimmich is one of my favorite players. Incredible, that boy. His knowledge of football, his positioning, technically, tactically, both, I think is fantastic. Up front as well, they got really top players, good speed, but I just kind of feel that they lack leaders on the pitch. I don't know why. I might be wrong, but it's just that I don't feel they have them enough leaders on the pitch. Uh, I honestly felt they won't do so well in the Euros. I don't know why. I felt that they'll have a decent one, but I didn't felt that they might go and win it. But yeah, they need to sort this out quickly. Somebody needs to take the whole of the dressing room and say, guys, we are the 2014 world champions. We are Germany, so we need to step up. And nothing. Joachim Low, of course, will be looking at it, and I wish him all the good luck for the next games.
You must have personally loved watching Robin Gosens. He was involved in almost all the goals, managed to find the net himself, stayed high when going forward, posed a threat on one-on-ones and his crossing. Your thoughts on Gosens?
Well, he has a fantastic tournament. Of course, I always love when I'm playing football, when I have my fullbacks or wing backs, when formation you want to call it 3 or 4 at the back. I always like them pushing it high, because then the other fullback stays back, because you got to protect his own goal. So this always helps, and has immense quality, around him. There are players who can pick him up easily, be it Tony Cruz or someone when he makes a run. And he's aggressive and he's doing pretty well. I'm really happy for him, to be honest.
Let's move on to Portugal. Sandesh, they're also going through from Group F. Now, the first game was all about Cristiano Ronaldo. There's nothing to say. His 2 goals against Hungary. And then the loss to Germany. I thought they came back very brilliantly against France to cancel out Benzema's double. Your thoughts on Portugal going into the last 16?
I think this France and Portugal game was a joy to watch, honestly. A fantastic game of football. I personally like Portugal a lot. Of course, there's Cristiano. I think a lot of footballers will admire him, and I admire him as well for his professionalism and what he has given to football. So, of course, we have that soft corner for Portugal. And yeah, I think they have a really good squad, man. Defensively, if you see, they got experience of Pepe. Fonte is there as well. If Pepe steps up or down, then you've got Ruben Dias, who won the Player of the Season in England, I think. And fantastic midfield they have. Bruno is there, Juan Matinho is there, and this guy as well. I forgot his name, who came as a substitute in the second half against France. I think he's fantastic. He plays for Sporting, I think. So, and up front, of course, you have Cristiano, and Renato Sanchez impressed me a lot. And I think they would love to be again like the dark horses, or because everyone will have their bets on France or Belgium to go to the finals. And I think Portugal kind of likes it. When they won in the last time, I think they drew all 3 games in the group, so nobody expected them to make it to the final and win it. So I think Portugal even now would be happy that not many people will be expecting them to go and lift the trophy again. But when you have Ronaldo in a team, it's just a different dynamic. They probably can go and win it again if Ronaldo is there. It's very hard to ignore it. If he's there, he can do it, honestly, with a whole batch with him.
I saw your tweet before the Spain game, and you called it 2-0, but they were flawless in that 5-0 win against Slovakia.
Yeah.
You think Sergio Busquets coming back was a big factor for the Spaniards?
For sure, man. I said in that on the Sony show as well, Sergio Busquets is massive. For me, trust me, my best defensive midfielders, I'll always go for Javier Mascherano, and then after that, Sergio Busquets. There's a very fine quote by Vicente Del Bosque as well. If you watch the game, you don't see Sergio Busquets, but if you see Sergio Busquets, you see the whole game.
Wow.
And for me, as a footballer, when you watch him, it's a joy, man. His positioning, you see him is not the fastest. Everyone who plays FIFA would never pick him in his team because he's not the fastest. He's not someone who's going to break a leg or something like that. He's a genuine guy. If you want to be a top midfielder, just watch him. His positioning, his range of passing, his vision, his composure is incredible. And one more thing which I felt Spain was lacking was leaders on the pitch, which I always keep bringing it up again and again. Because with Ramos going out, unfortunately, no matter how much talent you have in a team going in a game, you need them leaders. When those tough times come, you need someone there to settle it down. And Sergio, he himself has won everything, seen everything. It's more I say, it's less it is. So he's the one who can calm things down with his range of passing. Everyone has a different way of doing it. Sergio would be there, he would keep it calm with his words or his actions, and then Ramos would do it with his words and all, and Busquets can do it with his composure on the ball, bring the game down. So very important for him to come back. And the reason I said 2-0, I personally felt it's going to be 3-0. And then I just had a doubt that because Slovakia had this thing, I think in 2016 and in the World Cup, I think they had to win one or other game to qualify. So I felt they might step up, being a country like how they are from. So I thought they might step up, but it was a disappointing display. I think should have been 8-9-0. They played so, with due respect to them, but it was a very bad display from them. And congratulations to Spain. They just literally, what Luis Enrique said, the bottle really popped up, the champagne bottle.
Well, Aymeric Laporte, what a story, Sandesh.
No, it's incredible. He's a top centre back. I think Pep Guardiola himself said 2 seasons ago he's the best left-footed centre back in the world, in his opinion. And you got to take in account if Pep Guardiola says something about a player. Defensively solid, genuine passer of the ball. But when I heard that he's moving to Spain, I just literally couldn't believe it. I thought he must have made appearances for France till now, but I was surprised he had no senior cap. And then him moving, I was surprised. But if they win it and if they beat France in the final, I think Aymeric Laporte will be knowing way to celebrate 2 seconds.
You think Luis Enrique has redeemed himself, or do the fans want more from him? Let me explain this. He got a lot of flack because he didn't take Sergio Ramos with him. He didn't name a squad of 26, with confidence. Then he didn't select a single player from Real Madrid. But all of a sudden, when you look at Ferran Torres, Pau Torres, all looking good, you think slowly he's redeeming himself and, all that criticism is fading away?
I think it was pretty bold from him to take that step. And I always like men and women who are brave enough to take a decision which is not usual in front of others. And for him to not pick anyone from, of course, I'm not saying Real Madrid have the best players, but they have top players in the squad who have Spanish nationality. And for him to take that step was pretty brave. And he's proving till the 3 games they have played, I think they've done pretty well. Just the scoring part they're missing. But Pau Torres, if you see what he did for Villarreal, another place, Cesar Espilieta from Chelsea, Alba, everyone in the team, I think have done really well. Morata for Juventus, Moreno. So I think he's redeeming himself. And if you see his record, I was looking at it the other day. I think in 20 games, they have lost only once or twice, I think, under him. I might be wrong, but I was just looking at his stats. So I think he's done pretty well before as well. And of course, there's going to be a lot of questions like why did not pick this player, that player, but as long as the system works, whatever the coach wants, final call is always of the gaffer, and he's brave enough to take bold steps. And I think they're doing pretty well for Spain, to be honest.
The last team I want to look at is Belgium. Kevin De Bruyne comes in as a substitute against Denmark, provides an assist, then scores a goal to send the Red Devils into the last 16. And Romelu Lukaku, what do you say about him? He has a hand in both the goals. Then against Finland, scoring again. I think Belgium's looking very, very good. Your thoughts, Sandesh?
I think Belgium got to produce something now because everyone knows they call him the golden generation. The other day I was reading about watching how they develop players in Belgium. So in Belgium, they say like from 2001 or 2, they started this process of that football is about a single player. Usually we say it's a team game now, but Belgium decided a philosophy that it's about one player at a time. So one player is the most important, the one who has the ball. So that's why they train every player to have all the abilities in his game, be it Elderweed crossing 10 plays and then shooting at the goal, or Kevin De Bruyne coming back in the box and making a tackle. So everyone individually is so talented, probably the most talented squad in the Euros, in my opinion. So that also brings the onus on them that they gotta bring it with a gold medal, if you want to be remembered in history. So you need to win the big trophies. And 2018 World Cup or the Euros before that, they had the chance, but they couldn't do it. So now I think there's a lot of expectations from them, and they have in them what it takes. They have players in their team who have won at the club level, the big trophies. So they have the whole package with them. So it's just about the mentality going into each game. Against Denmark, I think they were not that good, which I was surprised. I think, but it's just a tournament and one game at a time. So you just need 3 points just to get to the next round. So they are where they need to be now. But I think I have massive, not only me, I think the whole world, and especially them players will have high expectation, which is good, means they'll take the responsibility and they can bring joy to the whole nation, their nation.
Sandesh, your favorite team from the past in the Euros, and your favorite goal from the past, if you can remember. So, any
Wow.
golden team, any golden goal?
I always put Italy in Euros. How they say in Sony Sports, no, मेरी दूसरी country. Italy just because being a defender, I always admired Italian defenders, and also I love their long hair, how they have. That's why one of the reasons I grew my hair as well, because all them Nestas, Maldinis, Francisco Totti, Del Piero, the list goes on. They all had long hair. So yeah, Italy is always a team I've supported. To remember a goal is very hard, man, on the spot. I'll just go for the header one. I think the last Euros when he scored against France, because it's so hard to think all of a sudden. So I'll go for the header one when he scored for Portugal in the final, I think. Because I was supporting Portugal that day. Yeah, so go for that goal and Italy as a team.
You mentioned great defenders in the Euro. The greatest defenders of all time, people who you've looked at and said, "Phew, these are guys that I can idolize, growing up and playing for India." International football.
International football. Paolo Maldini is someone whom when I started watching,
What a rock.
I was so, sometime, because of course AC Milan was massive back then. I was a big supporter of Man United. And there was John Terry, there was Rio Ferdinand, and everyone was there. But when I saw Maldini, I was just like, you're just struck by it. Like, oh my God, this is a different level. So Paolo Maldini was something. From then on, I started to tell myself, I'm going to grow my hair long. I'm going to wear a band like this. Just a kid from Chandigarh having big dreams. So Maldini, initially, I fell in love with him. And then Nemanja Vidic, because then Maldini retired. Then I started watching Vidic a lot. I always believe when you go for centre backs, if anyone asks you who's your favorite centre back, always go in a pair. Centre backs always come in a pair. A single centre back cannot do anything. So my pair is always all-time favorite is Paolo Maldini and Nemanja Vidic.
My last question is to do with Indian football. I was asking Gurpreet what an influence Sunil has had on him. So with you, I want to just take you back a little earlier to your career. I mean, when you started off, Baichung Bhutia was what they call the OG, the original, as far as Indian football is concerned. So just memories of seeing Baichung play, being close to him, watching his process, Sandesh, your thoughts on him?
I always said this many times. I've said this when I was 15, 16, my dream was not to play for Man United or Real Madrid or Bayern Munich, all those fancy big clubs. Now, the dream back then, the priority dream was to represent my country. And that meant I support the nation a lot. And I had them players like Baichung Sir, Chetri Paji, Andar Paji, Climax Paji, Surkumar Paji, Subrata Paji. I knew the whole playing 11. And I used to sit in my classroom and on back page, I used to make my the best 11 of Indian team, how Bob Sir should play this player. Should we go 4-4-2? Should we go 4-2-3-1? So I was crazy about it. And when I became 17, when I started to go out for trials and all, so I didn't face so much success right away by giving trials. It was, I don't know what destiny you're going to call it, or you're going to call it fate or whatever, just luck maybe. Baichung Sir gave me the opportunity in his club, United Sikkim. They were in the second division back then. So I gave a trial in Delhi because it was close to my house. I took a bus, went alone, gave a trial. They were playing Durand Cup, and they gave me only one session of training session with them, and I couldn't show much because I was just shell shocked. I was just spellbound because they were Renedy Singh, they was Baichung Bai, so I didn't know how to play football. I played really bad, so I thought I'm done here again. I was used to getting rejection about the trial thing. But I don't know then what Baichung Sir felt. He just said, like, listen, boy, you come to Sikkim. I think I want to see you more. And that was massive for me. And I went to Sikkim. I gave a proper trial for 1 month. And then he only gave me my first contract as a professional player. So no matter wherever I go in my career, I think who gave me my first job. I think I will never forget that. And he helped me a lot in my confidence and to make me learn to improve my game. I always remember first time when he got angry on me. We're playing some second division tournament and the ball came and I let the ball bounce. I don't know why I did that. And after the game, we won the game, I think 2-3-0. And he came to me and I just like, hello, sir. And he's like, don't you ever let the ball bounce defensively. And I was literally very loud, and that still stayed with me, and that's why I never let the ball bounce. So he's been massive in my career. I always regarded him highly as elder brother, and he supported me, gave me my first contract, and yeah, I'll always remember him very highly.
Watch Sandesh Jhingan in the UEFA Euro for Sony Sports India in their Football Extra studio show. And watch UEFA Euro 2020 live on Sony 10.2 in English and Sony 10.3 in Hindi. Sandesh, has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for your patience and answering every single question I threw your way with great diligence and precision. I wish for you and your family safety and good health, and you to play some great football, entertaining your fans. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hrishi. It was nice talking to you, man.
94.3 Radio 1.
One world, your station.